So you probably have a good idea of what's about to happen, but you see the big picture but not all the little specifics. So I'm going to break down exactly why I am swinging off the wall in the way that I do. Okay, so let's start with method A. This is wherein you are seated. That's not, maybe that's like a bun. Yeah. You're seated. You've got the silks and you're ready to jump off. When you're going with A, which is where we're gonna start, what you're dealing with here is a lot of slack. So this means that when you swing off, you're actually dropping down before silks catches you, and that's gonna make your period go a lot further because you don't have any, because you have extra slack. It's lengthening the distance between you and the anchor point, which is going to make your period longer and your backswing get closer to the wall, which is something you generally try to avoid. Okay, so let's go to B. B is a very fun and terrifying method wherein you lie down on top of the wall with slack here. So you're already wrapped up in a harness of sorts, but you roll off, and again you have the same issue which will give you a larger swing, and because you dismounted so high, that means there's way more length, and that means that when you come down, you're way more likely to swing back up and actually hit the wall. So that means if you're going for this dismount, you would better land over here and not hold on and keep coming back. And that brings me to this part over here. So there are a couple methods for how you can be attached to the silks. So first is free hanging. So you're just holding on with your hands or your feet. Here I can do, yeah. So you can hold down with your hands or your feet, but the problem is that when you swing out, if you're only holding on with your arms, if you're not completely locked up, you could shift your weight downward. Shifting the weight and basically extending the period of your swing. So that means if you add any force by dropping your arms or bending your legs, you could basically work with physics to make your backswing a lot bigger, making it more likely that you're going to hit the wall. So, okay, let's not do free hanging, just holding on. Let's have a knot down here that'll have like little loop and two tails. For the record, all of these lines, these each represent two silks put together. Okay, so if you've got a knot, you've got a couple of options. You could hang, which, you know, extends the length of the actual pendulum and increases the risk of slamming your head into the wall. We don't want that, so okay, let's have it upright. So we can't be standing because that would just create the same problem as this one. So let's have a seated position. And you actually have to have your legs locked to avoid any risk of swinging back. Height that you make it up to, and then you'll swing back and also risk hitting the wall. So you have to have your legs locked up together. Ooh, it's like It's like the villain from Powerpuff Girls. Locked up. Holding tight and keeping your body stiff so that you're not making any additional movements. As soon as you let go, you are in this position, and that's where you stay until you've surpassed the peak on this side and swung back down. Then you can shift. And then, of course, how do you actually dismount the wall? This is the third thing. You might have noticed this little person is sitting down inside the wall. So the problem with this is that, like I said earlier, you could actually press with more force as you're dismounting because you're pushing down with your feet against the wall so that you're going out. You have to avoid that to curb the likelihood of a catastrophic backswing. So, as you'll see in the video, instead I got into this position once I was up at the right height on the wall, and then I turned around in that position, held onto the wall, and then let go from there to ensure that I wouldn't be adding any additional force to the swing. Well, this is really incomprehensible looking, but I do believe that what I've done makes sense, and you'll see if I make it or not.